hear them trying to call us a hate group. Whoa, ain't nobody hating, they just hate to be exposed. Many are called, but very few are chosen. That's in order to prophecy, and that's just how it goes. Thus said the Lord, these ain't my words, the scriptures told us. Add it all up, prophecy tell you the total. Seen it and explained everything from head to toe. Nebuchadnezzar had a dream where he seen a giant statue. Daniel interpreted everything the way it happened. Call it a coincidence, cause you don't think it matters. But when you're truly clueless, I guess you don't see the patterns. Would think that change times and laws, and you don't know they changed the calendar. You don't even know your own nationality. 12 tribes worldwide, all around the globe. You hear them call this hate speech, you should be appalled. Doomed to those that call evil good and good evil. Graven images and idols, I'm just reading out the Bible. I ain't write it, I recite it. Yes, you can hold me liable. Zechariah 13 and 9 through the fire. And we'll refine them as silver is refined. And we'll try them as gold is tried. Yahweh Ba'Shem HaMashiach Yahweh Shah. Choose the commandments, choose life, you decide. Anything else, nothing less than that is suicide. It's high time to awake from sleep with all of these alarms. For now is our salvation nearer than
All right. Shalom, Kahalal, Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rekah Kadash. Shalom, Yasha Allah, Shemai, Yasha Allah, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh Akkad. All right. Shalom, peace and blessings to y'all brothers and sisters. Yasha Allah, all praises to the Most High. We know Cap Nations of Kings and Priests. All right. Happy day of Simon Maccabees, man. You know, all praises. Man, you know, it's a beautiful thing. The Most High gives us these feast days. Hey, Nehemiah, he gives us a lot of feast days, Zach. You know what I'm saying?
Then he said, "Don't come on him. Come to him empty."
Yeah. Hey, we got a lot to celebrate, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the Lord gives us these days to celebrate. So I don't know why we keep celebrating all these pagan holidays, man. You know, so the Lord gives us these beautiful holy days, separate days for us to celebrate unto Him, man. And we're gonna grab a little bit of that understanding today as well. You know, we talk about it a lot. You know, the Bible's a history book. You know, it talks about you know, our family, our forefathers, you know, and their walk and our interaction with our God and other nations, and what we do, you know, to be a better example unto Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And what you will, you know, find out tonight, if you don't know, is, you know, our beloved priest, actually, Mala'at Kahan, Simon was a mighty man. A matter of fact, came from a mighty lineage, man. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we all have to make choices in this walk. You know, we all got to make a choice, and he made a choice, you know, and you will be put to the test in your walk. So to have an example like Simon is very mighty. You know what I'm saying? So why do we celebrate this day? We're gonna jump right into it because I got a lot of scriptures to go to. We got a lot of reading. I know Nehemiah always ready. Always ready, Nehemiah.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
God. Let's go actually to one of Nehemiah's favorite books.
You know it. You know it.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Sirach, the 44th chapter. We're gonna start off the top. Ya'asha, you got to understand. You know, it's okay to honor you know, great men from Yasha Allah, man. It's you know, it's not anything had to do with idolatry, you know. Now, mind you, there is men pleasers out there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know who you are, y'all men pleasers, you know. But you could also honor a man, and that you know that's you know, ain't no problem. As a matter of fact, there's going to be 144 elect men, right, leaders that are going to be worthy to be honored. However, when we go through the scriptures, we see that, you know, you know, that you can do, you know, honor it. Let me check the chat real quick. Hey, Masha, Shalom, King, Yahweh Shabbat. Jakim, Shalom, King, Yahweh Shabbat. Shalom, Shalom. All right, let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 44. We're going to start off the top, and go ahead and read.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 44, verse 1. Let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begat us. The Lord hath wrought great glory by them through his great power from the beginning.
From the beginning, man. I mean, we don't see the details, but we know the Most High selected that, you know, us, the sons of God from the beginning. You know, we were mighty because we had something the other nations did not have. But then as you go into, you know, I mean, you name it, everything from Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, I mean, their own right, they mighty men. You know what I'm saying? So when you have something like this, that's, you know, a specific, you know, forefather in history, you know, the Lord's going to use them, and the Lord will use mighty men to proclaim his name. You know what I'm saying? It's not up to us. It's up to the Most High. I mean, shit, look at Jonah. Jonah did not want to, Jonah bucked up against the Lord. And the Lord was like, you go do what I ask you to do. So again, we have a choice. And sometimes it's not a choice. You do what the Lord is asking you to do. There's something that we say here in No Cap. The instructions are there in the Bible, right? You don't need myself or any other leader telling you exactly what to do. We have to push this ministry until that sky cracks, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, for many are called, but few are chosen. Few are chosen, y'all. Y'all know what that means, right? A lot of y'all that are called are not necessarily chosen.
A handful.
A handful. Matter of fact, you could probably say it's 2/3. That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to mighty men, the Lord will use them, and he has used them from the beginning. Read verse 3, Baba Kasha.
Khan, Sirach chapter 44, verse 3. Such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, men renowned for their power, giving counsel by their understanding and declaring prophecies.
I want y'all to remember that, giving counsel by their understanding and what?
And declaring prophecies.
And declaring prophecies, right? That's very important, man. Look how humble Daniel was, man, right? But the Lord used this brother, and he was fearless, man. And the type of zeal the brother had, I mean, it's just tremendous. Hell, look at King David, man. King David at an early age, when his y'all can read it yourself, but his response to King Saul was like, I'm gonna kill that Philistine exactly the way with the power of the Lord, the same way he made me kill that bear and that lion. This is a child with that type of faith and that spirit. That's mighty because he relied on the Lord. Y'all brothers and sisters got to stop relying on yourself and rely on the Lord. Truly trust in the Lord. How many scriptures, how many Psalms do we read where it starts talking about trust in the Lord? You know what I'm saying? So these brothers trusted in the Lord. And what you will witness, if you have not already, is that Simon did this as an oppressed, as a much time that it could be in Yasha Allah. All right. All right. Is that it on that? Well, we read verse 4.
No, we still have to read verse 4.
Okay, Salakia, go ahead.
Sirach chapter 44, verse 4. Leaders of the people by their counsels, and learning meet for the people, wise and eloquent in their instructions.
Wise and eloquent with their instructions, man. Right? So we know great leaders who have counseled. I mean, even King David, King Solomon, right? Hell, we see Nehemiah, Ezra. I mean, these are mighty brothers, man. You know, so it's not a sin to praise, mighty men of the Lord. It's not a sin. Now, don't be no fanboy. A lot of y'all fanboys, man.
Sure.
I just keep it real. Y'all look at YouTube and y'all see man. Look, man, nobody trying to be no fanboy, because now you're relying on yourself and a man. What does the scripture say in Jeremiah? Curses the man who trusts in man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Shalom, Gideon. Shalom. So so we're gonna see a mighty man rise up, right? And understand, when we're reading, Maccabees in the Apocrypha, that's a historical account. Mm-hmm. A Christian will tell you it is not divinely inspired. That is a lie. That is a lie from the devil, man. Straight up. This is your book, and it's complete. When I say complete, I don't mean that it's not missing any books. I mean that you have everything that you need in the book. There's so many intricate parts of the Bible that are just nuances. I think it was you, Nehemiah, in your class last week. You said, let's go. I think we were reading the book of John, and you were like, man, you could read this book 100 times and you find something new every single time. Mm-hmm. And that is so true, because, and y'all brothers, man, y'all read, what is it? Ecclesiastes, 12 and 13, but y'all forget that 10 says that many books are warrior of the spirit. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Y'all need to be careful with what you put in here in that you ingest in your heart, in your mind. It's like it's like food. That spiritual food that you're ingesting, you got to be very careful. You know what I'm saying?
So luckily,
yes, sir.
If I may add to that, is when we read John 6:63, Hamashiach told us that the words that he speaks unto us is life, right? So that means it contains a spirit. So that means if you read something that is not giving you life and it's the opposite, you can kind of think what kind of spirit it's going to have behind it.
That's right. That's right. And how do we know what we have is true? Isaiah 8:20 says that to the law and to the testimony. Mm-hmm. If they speak not of this, there is no light in them. Right. The book of Maccabees, not only does it speak about historical times, it speaks about them dying to uphold the law of the Lord, to preserve the culture. Mm-hmm. They died. Y'all understand that? Y'all gonna be put to death for this truth. And Salakia, we're gonna go through a very difficult time. So y'all better be prepared, not only physically, but make sure y'all prepared spiritually. Mm-hmm. Some of y'all love acting in front of the camera. Y'all some Hollywood Israelites. You see them a lot. Lights, camera, action, Hollywood Israelite. This is not a game. This is real life. We live it. We breathe it. We become one with it. We live with it, right? Mm-hmm. So understand that mighty men, right, are gonna be spoken about, and we can praise those mighty men.
Mm-hmm.
And really, that's what the rededication of the temple is all about. Is
Mm-hmm.
praising those mighty men that lives were taken, that chose to stand for the Lord instead
To
of
give us an example.
compromise for the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
how many of y'all need to look yourself in the mirror. Did you compromise for the Lord today? Esau told you, you know what? You got to work on Saturday, right? I got to work. But yet, if you don't do anything to help you get that day off, because it is a day of, the day of rest, the seventh day.
Mm-hmm.
What does that say about you? How is your walk in sincerity if you're not making any sacrifice for the Lord? Something as simple as trying to take the day off. But Esau says you got to work. Y'all don't see a problem with that? Romans 12:1 says that you shall be a living sacrifice.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
These brothers chose death before dishonor. Right?
Mm-hmm.
All praises, man. Right? So I would like to get into Daniel first. Here's what we're gonna do. And so, like all praise to the Most High, we mentioned Daniel a little bit earlier. We're gonna go into his book. We're gonna grab the prophecy of the Maccabees in the book of Daniel, right? So we're gonna go to Daniel's 11. Let me see it, Nehemiah. I think I wrote it down, but I think I might want to start a little bit above. Hold on a second. We have Darius, right? To be holding strength and king to stand up. Yeah. Okay, this is a lot of prophecy here. Hey, y'all gotta understand the book of Daniel is not only his walk, but also a lot of prophecy, right? So when we look, let's just go ahead and go down to verse 31. We'll go ahead and start there. So now understand, this is Daniel in prophecy, prophesying about the time in the Maccabees.
This this is the book of Daniel, chapter 11, verse 31.
Right.
And arms shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily sacrifice, and they shall place the abomination that maketh desolate.
Right. So understand that this is taking place, right? That in Daniel it's being prophesied that that the armies will come, right? Pollute the sanctuary. How do you pollute the sanctuary? Right? Anything that the right does, the left will do the opposite. If you notice, there's a right side and a left side. We kind of talk about it that way to make a distinction between the dark and the light, right? Believe it or not, there's a children of the light, and guess what, brethren? There's also children of darkness. The children of darkness want you, the children of light, to think that you're in darkness. That's why Paul talks about you coming out of darkness. But you are the children of light. How many verses? Let's get it real quick. What is it? 2 Thessalonians?
I think it's first.
It's verse 5, right?
Let's see.
I believe
let's see who memory better, huh?
Probably yours. I ain't gonna lie. At this point, yeah, you're right. You got it. 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse
5 through 8.
4. Yeah.
Sorry, 4.
4, yep.
Okay. This is the book of First Thessalonians, chapter 5, starting at verse 4. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief.
Mm-hmm.
Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober.
Right, because remember, a lot of the curses that we read and we understand that we're going through them, it has to do with sleep. What is sleep? When we read verses like "You shall be destroyed," not destroyed necessarily physically, but spiritually and mentally. You'll be destroyed of the name, right? You'll be called by another name. You're gonna try and as a matter of fact, we're gonna read it here a little bit earlier, a little bit later. But when an Israelite is Hellenized, thinking that he is a Gentile doing Gentile things, and we understand that's prophecy that's going to happen, right? Deuteronomy 28 and 48. You should go to your enemy for all things because you, Yasha Allah, sinned against the Lord, right? So we're also what assimilate. That's what it is. You're going to assimilate against those worldly things, but yet you are the children of light, right? So again, let's go back to Daniel. I don't want to get too far, but remember, there's a right side and a left side. The left side will always do the opposite of what the right side is doing. If you look at Satanism and the worship thereof is everything. I mean, you look at the way we roll. We have to be selflessness against ourselves, honoring our father, our nation. Even Yahushai was not selfish. He did everything for the Father. Us ourselves have to do the same thing with each other. What does Satanists think of? They think of, well, it's about you. It's about the self, quote unquote, self-love. That's why you have birthdays. That's why you have gifts. All these things circle around what you're doing, right? About you instead of doing for your people, right?
Mm-hmm.
That spirit of selfishness goes into a brother or sister who don't believe in the Most High. If you ever speak to someone like that and they don't believe in the Most High, but yet they believe in themselves. You ever hear that? You know what I'm saying? That hey, I'm doing me. I ain't worried about it. As a matter of fact, there was a rapper who said that. I think it was he's from the Migos. They interviewed him and they said, "Hey, what's your thoughts on what's going on with blacks and Hispanics getting killed in the middle of the street?" He was like, "Man, fuck all that shit. That's all for let them deal with it. We're trying to get money over here."
That's wicked.
Why? Because they sold their soul. Their soul is sold. Like Christ said, you can't serve two masters, right? Displease one and not the other. You can't serve the Lord and Mammon. Mammon is a god, lowercase g God, right? So anyways, when we read stuff like this, understand that the right hand is being forced on, it's like the left hand is being forced on the right. So this is a prophecy that Daniel's prophesying, the power and spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and the abomination, right? Desolation. Let's keep reading.
Khan. Daniel chapter 11, verse 32. And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flatteries. But the people that do know their God shall be strong and do exploits.
Right. What is exploits? That means do things against the wicked, man. You need that, right? It's not just staying in your home, not doing anything. It's doing for the ministry. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? says the Lord. Right? So again, a prophecy that Daniel's prophesying that happened in the Maccabees, right? So from there, let's go into Maccabees. We're gonna first read First Maccabees about the son of Simon. We're gonna read about him. So we're gonna go to First Maccabees. Let me make sure I'm here. All right. Yo, my computer is tripping. I need a new computer, bro. I'm so tired of complaining about this computer. You know, you're right. When you keep complaining about it, you got to do something about it.
Right.
So lucky, yeah. But you know, AI, if you would see it, I got two. You can't see it right now, but I got two. It's all taped up because I broke it. Man, you know, I'm just.
Which is time. It's retirement.
It's about time.
It's doing retirement.
All right, let's go to First Maccabees, the second chapter.
Con.
And we're gonna do verse 6. First Maccabees 2 and verse 6.
Con, the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2, starting at verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
And when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem, he said, woe is me, wherefore was I born to see this misery of my people and of the holy city, and to dwell there, when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hand of the strangers.
So now we understand that this is what's happening right now in Maccabees. Let's start, Saga, let's start at verse 1. Go ahead.
Con, the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2, starting at verse 1. In those days arose Mattathias, the son of John, the son of Simeon, a priest of the sons of Jorib, from Jerusalem, and dwelt in Modin. And he had 5 sons, Johanan, called Caddis, Simon, called Thassi, Judas, who was called Maccabees, Eleazar, called Ahoran, and Jonathan, whose surname was Aphis. Mm-hmm. And when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem, he said, woe is me, wherefore was I born to see this misery of my people and of the holy city, and to dwell there, when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hand of the strangers.
Understand the type of mindset, you know, Mattathias had looking at his people, man. The misery. You know what I'm saying? Like you want, like, what is that? Ecclesiastes 7:7, you know, oppression make a wise man mad. Mm-hmm. And this is what's going on with Maccabees. As you can see, Mattathias, this is a bad dude. We're going to read a little bit about him, right? Go ahead, Ak.
Verse 8. Her temple is become as a man without glory.
Mm-hmm.
Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. Her infants are slain in the streets. Her young men with the sword of the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
What nation have not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils?
Man, this is us you know, if the Grecians, then the Romans, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this is what he's witnessing, right? There was a period of the Greco-Roman captivity where they were conspiring together against us, man. You know, this is I mean, it's crazy to even witness these things and seeing our temple, our culture, our people slain. I mean, this is a sorrowful time. Right, go ahead.
Verse 11. All her ornaments are taken away of a free woman. She is become a bond slave.
Mm-hmm.
And behold, our sanctuary, even our beauty and our glory is laid waste, and the Gentiles have profaned it.
Didn't we just read that in Daniel?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. That the sanctuary will be profaned.
Mm-hmm.
Right, go ahead.
Verse 13. To what end, therefore, shall we live any longer? Then Mattathias and his sons rent their clothes and put on sackcloth and mourned very sore.
Mm-hmm.
In the mean, while the king's officers, such as compelled the people to revolt, came into the city of Modin to make them sacrifice. And when many of Israel came unto them, Mattathias also and his sons came together. Then answered the king's officers and said to Mattathias, on this wise, thou art a ruler and an honorable and great man in this city, and strengthened with sons and brethren. Now, therefore, come thou first, and fulfill the king's commandment, like as all the heathen have done, yea, and the men of Judah also, and such as remain at Jerusalem. So shalt thou and thine house be in the number of the king's friends. And thou and thy children shall be honored with silver and gold and many rewards.
So what's happening here? Right? They're trying to convince him to come. Wait, what is this? Y'all read y'all see that movie 300? That's what it looks like. That when shit, look. When they were coming up to King Leonidas, and he was trying to bribe him, I will give you all the riches, right? Whatever, right? I will give you all the riches, everything, you know, about your feet. All this is what is being offered to him. This was so remember, their goal, bro. How many times we hear in the truth, you know, and I hear the elders, you know, obviously we know the elders from the old school, and you know we're close to them, and we hear a lot of these stories that they were offered the bag. Some took the bag. You know what I'm saying? And when they took the bag, now they start teaching other stuff. Now they start teaching this, teaching that, rolling up in Mercedes Benz and Ferraris to camp. I'm not making that up. That was the real thing. Okay. So, you know, blank checks being sent to them. You know what I'm saying? Overseas banks. You will be offered these things. You know what I'm saying? So now this is what's happening. Look, gold and many rewards, right? Sound familiar, right?
Man, sign with blood.
Sign with blood. Go ahead,
Khan. Verse 19. Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice, though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him, and fall away every one from the religion of their fathers, and give consent to his commandments, yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers.
He's like, hell no. We're doing what the Lord says, man.
With a loud voice.
With a loud voice. Go ahead.
Verse 21. God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances.
The law and the ordinances. Now remember, they were given a choice. Now they don't have to hide to not keeping the commandments. Now you got Christianity. You got brothers and sisters in this wicked cult that provoke themselves to break the law of the Lord. Right? Go ahead, Ak.
Verse 22. We will not hearken to the king's words to go from our religion either on the right hand or the left. Now, when he had left speaking these words, there came one of the Jews in the sight of all to sacrifice on the altar, which was at Modin, according to the king's commandment.
So now, one took it, right? He said, hell no, we're going to do it.
He tripping, right? Man. I don't know what he talking about.
I don't know what he's talking about. We're gonna do what this dude says.
What it's that character from the Boondocks, Uncle Ruckus.
Oh, Uncle Ruckus,
one of them Ruckus Jews, man.
Go ahead,
Khan. Verse 24. Which thing, when Mattathias saw, he was inflamed with zeal, and his reins trembled, neither could he forbear to show his anger according to judgment. Wherefore he ran and slew him upon the altar. Also, the king's commissioner who compelled men to sacrifice, he killed at that time, and the altar he pulled down.
Hold on, man. Now, I know we talk about Nehemiah a lot, putting hands and smoting those, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mattathias done killed 2 people right there.
Mm-hmm.
Because they would have been put to death already.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Slew them, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Go ahead.
Verse 26. Thus dealt he zealously for the law of God, like as Phinehas did unto Zambri, the son of Shalom.
Mm-hmm.
And Mattathias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me.
Right. So he's saying what? If you either choose right now, you're going to follow the Lord or not.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's saying. And this is the father of Simon, father of Jonathan, right? This is a mighty man of the Lord, right? Is that all I want? Yeah, keep reading.
Verse 28. So he and his sons fled into the mountains and left all that ever they had in the city. Then many that sought after justice and judgment went down into the wilderness to dwell there.
Mm-hmm.
Both they and their children and their wives and their cattle, because afflictions increased sore upon them.
Right, because obviously they're gonna catch a lot of heat for what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to flee. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 31. Now, when it was told the king's servants and the host that was at Jerusalem in the city of David, that certain men who had broken the king's commandment were gone down into the secret places in the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
They pursued after them a great number, and having overtaken them, they camped against them and made war against them on the Sabbath day.
On the what day?
On the Sabbath day.
Understand, in this time, they were attacking us, knowing that we were trying to keep the laws of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
You got records in Josephus and in Phileo saying that they attacked us on their day of Saturn, which was our holy weekly Sabbath day.
Mm-hmm.
What day is that, brethren? That is called Saturday. While you will not find Saturday in the Bible, you will find the Shabbat day in the Bible, the 7th day in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Anyway, just had to throw that in there. But we see that they attacked us on the Sabbath day. Why? Because they knew we were resting and we were dedicating that day of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
So they rest.
That's right.
But they knew. They knew to attack us on that day.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it uses as a precept, brothers, as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna definitely use that eventually as a precept. But go ahead, I'll keep reading.
Verse 33. And they said unto them, let that which you have done hitherto suffice. Come forth and do according to the commandment of the king, and you shall live. But they said, we will not come forth, neither will we do the king's commandment to profane the Sabbath day. So then they gave them the battle with all speed. Howbeit, they answered them not, neither cast they a stone at them, nor stopped the places where they lay hid, but said, let us die all in our innocency. Heaven and earth shall testify for us that you put us to death wrongfully.
Come on, man. Who are you standing with? Right? These brothers and sisters decided to die instead of going against and breaking the Shabbat day.
Mm-hmm.
Some of y'all willingly are breaking the Shabbat day, half-assing for the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Art.
Verse 38. So they rose up against them in battle on the Sabbath, and they slew them with their wives and children and their cattle to the number of 1,000 people. Now when Mattathias and his friends understood hereof, they mourned for them right sore. And one of them said to another, if we all do as our brethren have done, and fight not for our lives and laws against the heathen, they will now quickly root us out of the earth.
Watch this.
At that time, therefore, they decreed, saying, whosoever shall come to make battle with us on the Sabbath day, we will fight against them. Neither will we die all as our brethren that were murdered in the secret places. Then came there unto him a company of Assyrians, who were mighty men of Israel, even all such as were voluntarily devoted unto the law.
Devoted unto the law. Some of y'all can't even take the damn Sabbath day off, man. They were devoted to the law. You know? Like, understand the situation. And this is, again, this is why we talk about, praising, honorable men of the Lord and what they did. Our forefathers are dying to keep the law of the Lord. Some of y'all breaking it for no reason, man. Just saying. Right? Go ahead. I'll keep reading.
Verse 43. Also, all they that fled for persecution joined themselves unto them, and were a state unto them. So they joined their forces and smote sinful men in their anger, and wicked men.
What? They did what?
Smote sinful men in their anger.
Go ahead.
And wicked men in their wrath. But the rest fled to the heathen for succor. Then Mattathias and his friends went round about and pulled down the altars. And what children soever they found within the coast of Israel uncircumcised, those they circumcised valiantly.
Understand that. Realize that they're trying to make our kids. You remember, visualize what y'all reading, right? Now the kids. What day do they are the kids supposed, or the males supposed to be circumcised? On the 8th day, right? So we're making sure that our children were not being circumcised. So a lot of these children, y'all gotta understand this, man. They were making sure that the children were not circumcised on the 8th day. Look how wicked they are, man. So what did he do? Again, another example, and again, y'all brothers could use this as a precept. But, well, brother, I'm not circumcised, and I don't have to be circumcised because I passed the 8th day. Just saying. You know what I'm saying? But zeal, again, brothers and sisters are dying for the law. We are sinning willfully, right? Go ahead,
Khan. Verse 49. Now, when the time drew near that Mattathias should die, he said unto his sons, now hath pride and rebuke gotten strength, and the time of destruction. Salaklia. I was supposed to start at verse 47. Salaklia.
It was 47, wasn't it?
Khan, yeah.
Oh, the one. Go ahead.
First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 47. They pursued also after the proud men, and the work prospered in their hand. So they recovered the law out of the hand of the Gentiles and out of the hand of kings, neither suffered they the sinner to triumph. Now when the time drew near that Mattathias should die, he said unto his sons, now hath pride and rebuke gotten strength, and the time of destruction and the wrath of indignation.
Man, he felt it already coming, man. That sucks, man. You in your deathbed knowing that greater destruction is coming. Right? However, man, he's got some mighty sons. Now remember, this is a Levite, man. A priest, a governor, right? A ruler. Remember, he's going to make us a nation of kings and priests. Right? No cap. And you know, I ain't talking about us. I'm talking about like in general. You know, like this is the type of spirit and a type of you got to roll in, man. I mean, it's just mighty, man. Right? But go ahead. Let's keep reading.
Verse 50. Now, therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers.
Hold on, man. You know, if there's man, that's a beautiful precept to read to your son right there. You know, now therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers, man. Right? Beautiful thing. Right? When we, as a matter of fact, our king gave his life. Some of y'all won't even give time. I don't get it, man. Go ahead,
Verse 51. Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time, so shall you receive great honor and an everlasting name.
Right?
Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness?
Right?
Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the commandment and was made Lord of Egypt.
Right? Right? Look, hey, we were talking about that earlier, right? The famous men of the Lord, right? This is what Matthias is going through with his sons, right? Go ahead.
Phineas, our father, in being zealous and fervent, obtained the covenant of an everlasting priesthood. Yahushua, for fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Israel.
Right? You're talking about Joshua, right?
Verse
Salakia, another precept you could use, right? Salakia, go ahead.
Verse 56. Caleb, for bearing witness before the congregation, received the heritage of the land. David, for being merciful, possessed the throne of an everlasting kingdom. Elias, for being zealous and fervent for the law, was taken up into heaven. Ananias, Azarias, and Mishael, by believing, were saved out of the flame. Daniel, for his innocency, was delivered from the mouth of lions.
Hey, doesn't this sound familiar? The way Matthias is, didn't we start off the class like that? Just saying. Go ahead.
Verse 61. And thus consider ye throughout all ages that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome.
Right?
Fear not then the words of a sinful man, for his glory shall be dung and worms. Today he shall be lifted up, and tomorrow he shall not be found, because he is returned into his dust, and his thought is come to nothing.
Right. Read.
Wherefore
that's cold, man. That is cold. I love that. The day he shall be lifted up, and tomorrow he shall be found, because he is returned unto his dust, and his thought is come to nothing. Man. Woo. Hey, that's trusting in the Lord, man. Y'all get so mad at each other. Like, what you getting mad about, man? What you mad about? What you got to do what you got to do for the ministry. What you mad at your brother for? If you feel in your heart he's sinning, bro, that's his lot, man. There's only so much you can do. Like Titus 3:9 says, man, you know, after 2 or 3 missions, you know, dust your feet, man. Y'all get so quick to hate on each other. Salakia, side note, y'all get so quick to hate on each other. Y'all forget that we have a mission onto not only to rebuke each other, but to love each other, man. Right? There's a brotherly love and a brotherly hate.
Yes.
Right and left side. A right and a left side. Which one? Which one are thou? Right? Salakia, we at 64? Okay, go ahead.
Wherefore, you, my sons, be valiant, and shew yourselves men in the behalf of the law, for by it shall you obtain glory.
So now we're going to read about Simon. Now we're just going to read this verse because obviously it's about Simon, right? So go ahead.
Slocky. Verse 65. And behold, I know that your brother Simon is a man of counsel. Give ear unto him always. He shall be a father unto you.
Now, that's basically telling you that Simon, like when you read, especially when you have sons, you understand their spirit, right? And you start maneuvering and speaking to them. Me myself, I got sons, I got grandkids, and you kind of like observe their spirit, and then you kind of witness how to deal with them. So, like for example, my son Azariah, I may deal with him. I may come at him at an approach to him differently than I might Elijah. Elijah is more of a fearless. He's fearless, right? So I know I can approach him a certain way. Azariah is more thought process, right? So with your sons, that's how you're going to start discerning and how to deal with them. Now, Matthias, he's talking about Simon. Simon is a man of counsel. Now, what's a man of counsel? A wise man, right? A wise man will always receive and give counsel, but definitely receive counsel. As a matter of fact, isn't that a scripture where there's no counsel, the people fail?
Mm-hmm.
He shall be a father unto thee. I mean, having a fatherly spirit is something that elders have, man. When you have when I use that, I know brothers get offended sometimes, but let's say when you're under an elder has that type of fatherly spirit towards you. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's a certain way, but it's nonetheless, it's like a fatherly spirit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because in many ways, an elder is going to treat you, the younger, like a son. You know what I'm saying? And with that comes discerning the spirit, and with that comes the way you're being dealt with. Simon was that type of brother. Now, like we read before, he wasn't the eldest brother, but he had that type of spirit. Like in my home, Azariah is the youngest, but he has more of that, more of that wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
I say wisdom, but he's more pensativo. He's more thought processed than Elijah. Elijah's fearless, so I deal with them differently. So we see that in Simon here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So from there, let's get it in. Let's go to Maccabees, First Maccabees 13. We'll start at verse 1.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 13, verse 1. Now when Simon heard that Tryphon had gathered together a great host to invade the land of Judea and destroy it, and saw that the people was in great trembling and fear, he went up to Jerusalem and gathered the people together and gave them exhortation, saying, Ye yourselves know what great things I and my brethren and my father's house have done for the laws and the sanctuary, the battles also, and troubles which we have seen. By reason whereof all my brethren are slain for Israel's sake, and I am left alone.
Look at that, man. This is Mala'at Kahan, Simon, Maccabee, left alone, man. Now, Jonathan is still alive at this point, but Jonathan is captive right now at this point, right? However, we see a great man, like he's left alone. What is Simon to do here, man? So he's speaking to the people to exhort them. And by the way, here's a quick picture. This is dry fun, right? So as you can see, look at this. Look at that, man.
Must have been a little fat.
Looks like Trump, doesn't he?
Man.
With that big nose and stuff. And a small little beaky beak. And look at the hair, man. You know what I'm saying? Like this is an Edomite all day. You know? But this is the one that is you know, they're talking about here. But go ahead, I keep reading.
Sloppy. Verse 5. Now, therefore, be it far from me that I should spare mine own life in any time of trouble, for I am no better than my brethren.
Mm-hmm.
Doubtless, I will avenge my nation and the sanctuary and our wives and our children, for all the heathen are gathered to destroy us of very malice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as soon as the people heard these words, their spirit revived.
Their spirit revived, right? Because he's speaking out. He's trying to exhort the people, man. That's what we're supposed to do when we go out, man. When we go out into the highways and byways, man, what do you see? You see, I mean, especially when we go into the hoods, man, you see no hope. They're hopeless. We come to give them the news that the Lord has come, and the Lord wants the sheep to hear His voice, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we got more things to talk about, right? Go ahead, Ak.
Verse 8. And they answered with a loud voice, saying, Thou shalt be our leader instead of Judas and Jonathan thy brother. Fight thou our battles, and whatsoever thou commandest us, that will we do. So then he gathered together all the men of war and made haste to finish the walls of Jerusalem, and he fortified it round about.
Mm-hmm.
Also he sent Jonathan the son of Absalom, and with him a great power to Joppe, who casting out them that were therein remained there in it. So Tryphon removed from Ptolemais with a great power to invade the land of Judea, and Jonathan was with him in ward. But Simon pitched his tents at Adida, over against the plain. Now when Tryphon knew that Simon was risen up instead of his brother Jonathan, and went to join battle with him, he sent messengers unto him, saying, Where is we have Jonathan thy brother in hold? It is for money that he is owing unto the king's treasure, concerning the business that was committed unto him. Verse 16. Wherefore now send 100 talents of silver, and 2 of his sons for hostages, that when he is at liberty, he may not revolt from us, and we will let him go.
So what are they doing here? They're trying to make a deal with them, right? With Simon. Now understand, this wicked Edomite trying to make a deal with him. Here's what he says. Go ahead.
Verse 17. Hereupon Simon, albeit he perceived that they spake deceitfully unto him, yet sent he the money and the children, lest peradventure he should procure to himself great hatred of the people.
Right, because it's a no-win situation. His brother's taken hostage. If he believes that his brother is still alive, 1, 2, if he pays them, right? If he pays them, now he's in cahoots with him.
Mm-hmm.
And now he has not only his money, but he has his 2 sons. So there's a problem here. It's a no-win situation, right? Go ahead, keep reading.
Khan, who might have said, verse 18, who might have said, because I sent him not the money and the children, therefore is Jonathan dead.
Right.
So he sent them the children and the 100 talents. Howbeit Tryphon dissembled, neither would he let Jonathan go.
Yeah.
And after this came Tryphon to invade the land and destroy it, going round about by the way that leadeth unto Adora. But Simon and his hosts marched against him in every place wheresoever he went.
Right. So he was attacked. He attacked anyways, and when he attacked, Simon was ready. Right. Go ahead.
Verse 21. Now they that were in the tower sent messengers unto Tryphon to the end that he should hasten his coming unto them by the wilderness and send them victuals. Wherefore Tryphon made ready all his horsemen to come that night, but there fell a very great snow, by reason whereof he came not. So he departed and came into the country of Gilad. And when he came near to Bascama, he slew Jonathan, who was buried there.
So now he killed his brother anyways. Right? That's sad, man. I mean, at least he perceived, he knew. Well, Scripture says, trust not thy enemy, man, but as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Right? So Simon knew. So now he truly is alone. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 24. Afterward, Tryphon returned and went into his own land. Then sent Simon and took the bones of Jonathan his brother and buried them in Modin, the city of his fathers. And all Israel made great lamentation for him and bewailed him many days.
Go ahead, read.
Simon also built a monument upon the sepulchre of his father and his brethren, and raised it aloft to the site with hewn stone behind and before.
Basically, that's a tombstone. Right? And did what? Watch this.
Moreover, he set up 7 pyramids, one against another, for his father and his mother and his 4 brethren.
Man, y'all going off, man. Nah, he's not going off. He's just building a pyramid. We knew about the pyramids, man. Right? What do you think they got that from?
Right. I'm just gonna say that we built them.
Where do you think they got that from?
We built their chief cities.
You think you think a cake eating Hamite? Hey, let me start. All right, Salakia, go ahead.
Quran, verse 29. And in these he made running devices, about the which he set great pillars, and upon the pillars he made all their armor for perpetual memory, and by the armor ships carved, that they might be seen of all that sail on the sea. Verse 30. This is the sepulchre which he had made at Modin, and it standeth yet unto this day. Now Tryphon dealt deceitfully with the young king Antiochus and slew him. And he reigned.
This dude wicked as hell, man.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? This dude wicked as hell. Let's go back to his picture again, real quick. Look, this dude wicked. Look at his face. He looked like he looked like Trump, man. He looked just like Trump, like the Idumean. You know? So like you go ahead, Art.
Man, bro, that's crazy. Verse 32. And he reigned in his stead and crowned himself king of Asia, and brought a great calamity upon the land. Then Simon built up the strongholds in Judea and fenced them about with high towers and great walls and gates and bars, and laid up victuals therein. Moreover, Simon chose men and sent to King Demetrius to the end he should give the land an immunity, because all that Tryphon did was to spoil. Unto whom King Demetrius answered and wrote after this manner: King Demetrius unto Simon the high priest and friend of kings, as also unto the elders and nation of the Jews, sending greeting.
So now understand what's happening here. This is Simon being diplomatic. He is talking to another leader, or to the King Demetrius, and he's negotiating with him, right? He's negotiating with them. But watch this. Go ahead.
Verse 37. The golden crown and the scarlet robe which ye sent unto us, we have received, and we are ready to make a steadfast peace with you, and to write unto our officers to confirm the immunities which we have granted.
Right. So now they're agreeing to the terms of the agreement. Now, yeah, I know what y'all gonna say. We can't make agreements with the heathen, right? But understand what he's doing here. Go ahead, Reef.
Verse 38. And whatsoever covenants, Salakli.
Yeah, 38.
And whatsoever covenants we have made with you shall stand, and the strongholds which ye have builded shall be your own. As for any oversight or fault committed unto this day, we forgive it. And the crown tax also which ye owe us, if there were any other tribute paid in Jerusalem, it shall no more be paid.
Man, they took care of the tax and any issues of that as well, right? So mind you, this is all negotiation. Go ahead.
And look who are meet among you to be in our court. Let them be enrolled, and let there peace betwixt us. Let there be peace betwixt us. Thus the yoke of the heathen was taken away from Israel in the 170th year.
Right.
Then the people of Israel began to write in their instruments and contracts in the first year to Simon the high priest, the governor and leader of the Jews.
Meaning it wrote everything and contractionally, right? Go ahead.
Verse 43. In those days, Simon camped against Gaza and besieged it round about. He made also an engine of war and set it by the city and battered a certain tower and took it.
Man, even after all that, Simon said, we still gonna build, we still gonna go to war, man. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 44. And they that were in the engine leapt into the city, whereupon there was a great uproar in the city. In so much as the people of the city rent their clothes and climbed upon the walls with their wives and children, and cried with a loud voice, beseeching Simon to grant them peace. And they said, deal not with us according to our wickedness, but according to thy mercy. So Simon was appeased towards them, and fought no more against them, but put them out of the city, and cleansed the houses wherein the idols were, and so entered into it with songs and thanksgiving.
Right. So now, right, this is the time where he cleansed it. He helped cleanse the city. He helped cleanse the altar, right? We're going to start reading into that a little bit here, right? Where now everything starts getting back to as normal, right? Go ahead.
Verse 48. Yeah. He put all uncleanness out of it, and placed such men there as would keep the law, and made it stronger than it was before, and built therein a dwelling place for himself. They also of the tower in Jerusalem were kept so straight that they could neither come forth nor go into the country, nor buy nor sell. Wherefore they were in great distress for want of victuals, and a great number of them perished through famine.
Right, because a lot of them were. I mean, this was years of war, years of dying, bro. Simon lost everything, including his family, his home, right? So now he's getting back to rebuilding everything once again. And he did that with what, man? He did that with faith. He did that with he could have died, man. But this was a wise man that the Lord put in place so that we could have our temple back again, right? So we could have our culture, have some sort of culture, right? But what you see there, remember who he is unifying with. Who's he unifying with, brethren? Who is he agreeing with? What nation of people? Right? Put it in the chat. What nation of people is he making an agreement with? Right? First one to get it gets a cookie. I'm gonna throw you a
cookie emoji, huh?
A cookie emoji. Right. All right, Maya Gala gets the cookie.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So what does that tell you? What was King Herod's nationality? Edom. He was an Edomite.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So what you're witnessing here, Akim, is the beginning of the Salakia, the Herodian dynasty. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's finish that off. All right? We're almost done.
Con. Verse 50. Then cried they to Simon, beseeching them to be at one with them, which thing he granted them. And when he had put them out from thence, he cleansed the tower from pollutions. And entered into it the 23rd day of the 2nd month in the 171 year, with thanksgiving and branches of palm trees, and with harps and cymbals, and with viols and hymns and songs, because there was destroyed a great enemy out of Israel.
Right, the great enemy out of Israel, not knowing that eventually the great enemy is going to be there. However, in that moment, great enemy was destroyed. Mm-hmm. Right? Continue.
Verse 52. He ordained also that that day should be kept every year with gladness. Moreover, the hill of the temple that was by the tower he made stronger than it was, and there he dwelt himself with his company.
Right. And that is why we celebrate and we commemorate the day of Simon today. Right? Mm-hmm. So he was a mighty man, from a mighty lineage, a good stock, and has a great name in Israel. So we commemorate, he ordained it through the power and spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. So yeah. So all praises to the Most High. That's all I have. Nehemiah, you got anything on? Let me check some precepts. Let me check some precepts. We got any precepts? Revelation 22 and verse 9. What'd that say? Revelation 22 and verse 9. Revelation 22 and verse 9. Then saith he unto me, see thou do it not, for I am thy fellow servant and thy brethren, the prophets, and of them which keep the sayings of the book, worship God. Right? Yeah, we can't worship men. We got to worship Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Absolutely. Acts 6 and verse 9. All right. Acts 6 and 9, and it reads, "Wherefore, brethren, look ye out among you 7 men of honest report, full of the Holy Spirit and wisdom, whom we may appoint over business." Right. Yeah, we definitely want to, make a good decision when we're, you know, um, either going to battle with men or assigning men to different duties, man. Deuteronomy 32 and verse 7. "Remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee thy elders, and they will tell thee." Beautiful. Beautiful. Kalel Shalom. James 4, 7 and 8. "Submit yourselves therefore unto God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw nigh unto God, and he will draw nigh unto you." That's right, man. All praises. "Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded." All praises. All praises. All praises. All praises. Shalom Mahar, Yabashashabakata, Shalom. The cookie was good, Ak. The water, you welcome. No pork in the cookie either, so all praise to the Most High.
Kosher
cookies. Come on, Ak. That's your next 8, Nehemiah. That's your next.
We already got the recipe. I just
I know you would.
Mm-hmm.
All praises. All praises. Speaking of, I need to check the market again, Ak. I gotta re-up. I gotta re-up on my stuff. If y'all don't know, Nehemiah's got a mighty market. Show them your what is it? Your website, Ak.
Do I got it here? The website ain't done yet. I don't have it launched. It don't launch till June 10th.
Oh, that's right.
In 10 days.
What is it?
So the Israelite market, right, is what I do is I create herbal blends for illnesses. Not only do I do that, but I gather all types of rare herbs from different parts of the country, gather those, create herbal blends, put them in herbal blends, and offer them to the nation of Yasha Allah or anyone who's interested. Not only that, incense, fragrances, skincare, hair care. You want something for your hair and beard, we got something for you. Everything is naturally wild crafted, naturally organic, and everything I do by hand. The brothers see me post stuff in the chat all the time. Everything I do is by hand. It's all handcrafted right here behind me. So the market is a market. It's called a market for a reason, because there's going to be a lot of things. It's like a one-stop shop when it comes to health and wellness, and I'm constantly adding things to it, so it'll constantly be more things to come in the future.
Khan, yeah, he's got a lot, man. Everything from fragrances to lip balm to
honey,
stomach detox, body detox, sleep support. I mean, it's got daily minerals. I mean, I know I had some knee problems, man, and got pilled up with some sea moss, and man, I'm pretty good right now. So I ain't gonna say I'm 100%, but all praise to the Most High,
all praises.
So, anyways, with that, we're gonna say Shalom. Want to give Kahala Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Happy feast of day of Simon Maccabees. Kahala Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Shalom, James. Yahweh Shusbakatah. Shalom, Mak. Hey, Shalom, family. All praise to the Most High. Oh, real quick, before we go, Nehemiah, Cali, Baba Gashad, give them the address where y'all gonna be at this
Khan, Nations of Kings and Priests, no cap, Cali section. We're gonna be in Old Sacramento, right? Downtown Sacramento. That's where you see them. It's Old Sacramento. That's where you see everybody go on the Sabbath day to go, do they foolery, but we're gonna be by the boat dock where you see the big yacht type boat. We're gonna be right over there in that area, old Sacramento, downtown Sacramento. So if you close by, you in Cali, come join us to bring out the words of the Most High, man, and gather the lost sheep to bring them back to the fold and to bid them back to the marriage.
Come. Here's the flyer. June 1st. It's in Old Sacramento, right? So you know these are the dates we're gonna be there. So all praise to the Most High for that. And then for Orlando and Tampa, we will be in Kissimmee, in the Kissimmee Park, rebuking sodomy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just straight up. Just simple as that. You know, rebuking sodomy. All praise to the Most High. We got a couple camps meeting us out there. Sakari's one of them. Salute to Sakari. Who else? Forget who else, but you know, we're gonna go out there mighty. All praise to the Most High. So y'all look out for that. And Most High bless y'all brothers and sisters who are keeping the faith in the Mashiach Yahushua. Remember, it's gonna take faith to keep at it, man. You're gonna be tested. Sirach 2-in-1, the hashtag Sirach 2 life, man. You know, prepare your soul for temptation in this truth, man. But the Lord will take care of you, like we just read in James, man. You know, come unto the Lord, and He will come unto you. You know,
right.
So trust in the Lord, man. So all praise to the Most High. Shalom, Yasha Allah. You know, shalom.
Shalom.